From St. Joseph, Missouri, here is Travis Lee Hartman.
I don't know. I mean, it's got to be something political.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Fine, I'm jumping in now. Welcome to the latest episode of Weighing In with Travis Hartman. We are on episode 19. You know, Weekend Trav over here munching on some pretzels, so bear with us on the audio. If you hear something, it's not me.
I apologize.
Apologize in advance. You know, on the way here, and I mentioned it to you earlier, I don't know if you remembered, I've been jamming to some Christmas tunes as of late. I'm not too proud to admit that.
It is November.
Yeah, but I've been doing it for like 40 days.
Oh. Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. It's more like 4 days.
And now the truth comes out.
I can't help it. We need to be festive, don't we?
Yeah, I mean,
we need to be happy, don't we?
You know what? As a born and raised Midwestern guy, though, winters in Florida don't seem right because it's warm. I literally went to the beach one time in December in Florida. That's weird to me.
But the water's cold. You can't go in the water.
No, and usually when I go to the beach anyway, though, I usually never get in the water anyway.
Why?
Yeah, I don't
Why
know.
is that?
I go to sit on the beach,
Like a
enjoy
shark
the
thing,
outdoor. No, I don't have anything against it. It's just I don't know. I don't always get like I'll go to the beach many times and I don't get in the water.
Gotcha.
It's weird. Irina always gets in the water.
When I go with some buddies, we fill up like this mini cooler with half sweet tea vodka and half normal lemonade. Mix that up, and then we go out in the water and we're tossing it back and forth like a football. And all these families are looking at these men in their upper 30s and 40s like, what in the world?
I mean, they're probably jealous that you guys are having
Well,
fun.
I don't blame them because it's like, you probably shouldn't be doing that. You know, I'm making my spouse proud right now. Anyways, so Weekend Trav, we are here. It is, what is today? November the 8th. There was something that went on about, a few days ago. We might not get into that until later if we do at all. But we do have a ton of boxing stuff to talk about, which I love. We are starting to really roll into boxing season. We've talked about it for many weeks, that there's a lot coming up on the calendar towards the end of the year. Guess what, folks? We're at the end of the year. But before we get into that, I want to ask, if you have not yet subscribed to this podcast or to our YouTube channel, please do. Subscribe below, hit the bell icon, or else this gentleman over here, and I use that term loosely, will knock on your door and probably punch you right in the stomach.
Straight shot. Right in the
Straight
stomach.
shot. Okay. So if you haven't done so already, please do subscribe and follow our content. We are everywhere else, too, that you would imagine a podcast is. Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes.
Amazon, doesn't matter.
Google.
Everywhere.
It matters. It always matters.
Well, it matters the fact that we're everywhere.
We do like the YouTube love, though.
We do, because our YouTube video, our last episode, is our most watched episode.
It popped.
To date.
It popped. It went over 300, which is crazy for us because,
Poppin'.
we're used to the tens.
I can't make that joke anymore. I'm a little upset about that.
Well, hold on.
But I remember.
Hold on. Let's wait to see how episode 19 goes.
I mean, because, yes, I won't say anything else.
So we have a bunch of boxing-related news to talk about, and we're going to start, I believe, with the bout that was last night. So just to sum up what we're going to talk about today.
If you hear the clinking on Spotify, that's Travis pouring some whiskey.
Yeah, see,
Some
you're making
bourbon
all
whiskey.
these noises.
I know. I'm just a bad.
You're a mess.
I'm sorry. I did just get home today.
That's true. You
I've
were
been
in our
traveling.
nation's capital.
I was in Baltimore
God bless you.
as well as the nation's capital. Good times.
Anyways,
times.
so we are talking about Devin Haney and Yuriorkis Gamboa. We're going to talk about that.
You said it right. So proud of you. I'm so proud of you.
Hey, listen, on the prediction video, also on YouTube, I said it right as well. You know whose name I messed up on?
Who?
Teofimo's.
You said Teofimo?
No, I called him on the prediction video. Teo. I can't remember how I said it, but I rewatched it. I'm like, shoot, I butchered that. Well, you say it.
Teofimo Lopez.
Are you sure? There's an I in there, buddy.
Teofimo.
Teofimo.
There's
a lot of vowels.
Teofimo.
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 Anyways, why am I
Teofimo?
talking about him? I think we'll talk about that
sounds
whole
like
setup.
Kissimmee.
I think we'll talk about the lightweights in a bit as
Kissimmee?
well.
Kissimmee?
It's Kissimmee, and it's
Kissimmee.
unanimous.
Unanimous.
You know, we have a lot to
Not
talk about.
unanimous?
We have a lot to talk about still, also with Canelo and what happened with the zone.
Yep.
We have some heavyweight action to talk about. So, Weekend Trav, since we probably lost all our viewers, we're going to try to get them back right
Last
now.
week, probably.
Talking about boxing. Let's talk about the match from yesterday evening. Devin Haney, Yuri Orcus. I got to look at it. Yuri Orcus, Gamboa.
You got it.
Give it to me.
Good fight. I predicted that.
Good fight.
Well, good. I mean, it's two high-level guys, but was it exciting? No. But I can't say it was a bad fight because it was two very high-level guys that were fighting each other. So it was a good fight, and it was what it was. It was supposed to be more of a showcase, though, for Devin Haney.
Yes.
And that's why I'm very surprised. But what I didn't know, though, however, is that Devin Haney had a surgically repaired shoulder. I didn't know that. For some reason, I don't know, that slipped my mind somehow. They mentioned it in the broadcast. I didn't know that. I couldn't tell because he 100% fought just as good as he normally would have. But this was a showcase fight where he was supposed to kind of blitz him out of there, and he didn't.
I think everybody pretty much has something now. I mean, even this guy, Gamboa, didn't he blow his ACL or something like that at the end of last year?
I know, but Gamboa is also 39 years old. Devin Haney's 22.
And that's my realm, man. That's getting in that's my age category.
But these guys are professional athletes
That's true.
at 39.
And I'm not exactly up to par.
Yeah. But this carnivore diet's going to get you there.
13 pounds so far.
That's phenomenal.
Not that it's not all about weight, though.
It's not, but that's still congrats. That's very big congrats still. I did my own little journey, too. I did my own little journey post. Did you see my post?
I saw it. What do you want me to do with that?
Say congratulations.
Congratulations.
Because I didn't use any diet, no food, no machines.
So you just
nothing.
So you just stopped being lazy.
Exactly.
Okay.
Honestly, that's the exact truth.
So you stopped being lazy.
No, wait, I wasn't lazy because I was working all day.
Okay. Yes, but you weren't focused on
training
you
lessons.
were focused on everyone else.
Exactly, and
so
I just focused on
you
myself.
decided to eat better and actually do something more physical for yourself.
Yep.
Is that about right?
It was 100% right.
Okay.
Literally.
Congratulations.
Own body. It better be a congratulations because I did really good.
Good job.
I was pretty proud of myself because it wasn't easy.
For those of you listening, just go ahead and send Travis a cookie as a congratulations treat.
My congratulations is my physical transformation. I appreciated that. Now I can look in the mirror and be like, not where I want to be, but I'm getting there, and I see a difference. When you start to see a difference is when you actually, it does though. When you see a difference and feel a difference, it keeps you going.
You got to tell me about this muscle build thing that you commented on.
That's the next step. I had to slim down.
I'm sorry.
Now I'm going to start bulking.
I'm sorry.
It's bulking season, Brandon.
I believe you, but those are the comments I've never heard out of your mouth about bulking or anything like that.
I didn't say bulking, but I said I'm going to start
I
lifting.
envisioned it.
But
because we used to lift together.
We did. Well, it was like I did small lifts.
You got a lot stronger.
Yeah. But I never got bulkier, though.
No.
We really lifted because I was still competing. So.
Yeah, that wasn't the goal.
And we'll see how it goes. But, like, it was a good cut. Like, I trimmed out a lot of, like, belly fat. I worked my butt off. But besides all of that, this isn't about me.
Devin Haney.
This is about Devin Haney. Okay. Devin Haney, 22 years old, surgically repaired shoulder, fighting a 39-year-old Yuri Orcus Gamboa. And out now brown cow. Yeah. That's exactly a good one. It was good timing. So, but yes, it was a good fight. It was a lot of clinching, a lot of holding. But again, Yuri Orcus Gamboa is 39 years old. Was a phenomenal athlete. I think he's only had 2 losses leading up to that fight, actually. Here, let me go and make sure I'm correct there. He's 30-3. So Yuri Orcus Gamboa, his losses are to most of the top guys. So what this was a test for Devin Haney because guys like Terence Crawford have fought Gamboa, and actually not Gamboa out, I believe. So this is kind of a test to see where Devin Haney is at. However, Terence Crawford is a lot bigger than Yuri Orcus Gamboa. Terence Crawford is now welterweight. Gamboa fought Devin Haney at 135 pounds, which is 2 full weight classes below welterweight because there's 135, there's 140, then 147. So the fact that Devin Haney did what he was supposed to do, he won. I thought he was going to stop him. The rest of the world thought he was going to stop Gamboa later on in the fight. I thought it was going to be in the 7th round. It didn't end up happening. It ended up being a unanimous decision.
Thank you.
Not a unanimous decision.
Unanimous.
With some clip. Yeah. But so it was a good fight. It wasn't a fight that I would tell everybody, oh my gosh, turn your TV on and watch this fight.
Right.
But we knew what it was. It's a setup fight because that 135-pound division is popping right now.
Yeah.
It is very hot right now with Lomachenko, Lopez, Teofimo, who just beat Lomachenko. You got Ryan Garcia that's getting ready to fight.
Yep.
You got Devin Haney. There's so many guys in that division now that it's exciting right now. And that's exactly what it was. It was just another showcase event for Devin Haney to get his name out there even more. And then possibly set up. I mean, you got Tank as well, Tank Davis, Gervonta Davis. So there's a hot division right now. Gervonta, Tank Davis.
You got to correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought that's who Gamboa fought last. I might be wrong.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right.
That's who he got hurt, and then also he got knocked out in the final round.
He fought Gervonta, and he was stopped in the 12th round. You're exactly right. So that's kind of what I think that he was dominated that whole fight, though. And that's, in my opinion, I said this last time, a couple of our shows way back when, I was like, you always know when they're trying to set up a future fight of top fighters. They will end up fighting within a couple of weeks of each other, weekends, whatever. And look what just happened. Gervonta Tank Davis just fought. Devin Haney just fought. Devin Haney actually called him out after this fight, too, I believe. They've been going back and forth on Twitter. So has Teofimo Lopez. Yeah. So he's running his mouth a lot. You actually mentioned that last time after
he's working on the verbal game. And
you know what?
I appreciate that.
That's what sells right now.
Yeah, but it's got to be the longer lead up to all the belts coming into one fight, right? So Lopez making comments about Haney and you know, fighting a worthless opponent, this and that. Well, what do you expect him to do right now? He's got to fight somebody.
And I mean, to be fair, Yorkis is not a worthless opponent. His last fight was against Gervonta Tank Davis. Like, he's got good, notable wins as well. So, like, it wasn't a worthless fight. It was it was a needed fight.
Yeah, I appreciate a level of arrogance. He's just got to be careful. You know, Lopez has got to be careful. He doesn't want that to, at some point, backfire too.
Well, here's the deal. This is the only thing with being a very arrogant person. And one, it does sell. And you look at it, a guy like Floyd Mayweather, he's arrogant. It's sold because he was confident but here's the deal, and I'm not going to get political, but this is where you get into the political climate as well, is when you're arrogant and you're winning, you're great. But as soon as you stop winning, that's a huge fall from grace because you are going to be toppled on top of. So people come out in droves when you lose because the whole time you're winning and you're arrogant and you're not humble, people are going to watch you. It's going to be a big sell. You're going to make a lot of money, but you have to be careful because as soon as you slip up even one little small time, it's done. Yeah. You're literally, Adrian Broner went through this. Adrian Broner was super cocky. People were like, he's cocky, but he's good. He backed it up. As soon as he started losing, the average person wrote him off. They still pay attention because he's very, very brash and outspoken, but he's not as good as he was.
So let's chat on the lightweight division then. And next stages. What would you like to see as a fan and as a professional? What would you like to see as kind of the next two fights side by side as we start to get towards maybe a full unification?
Really good. Well, it's honestly because it's a little complicated because I still regard Vasily Lomachenko as up there in the division, even though he lost to Lopez, and he lost. That was the decision, and he lost. However, I still think he's at the top of that division. Is he at the very top? I don't know, but he's up there. So I would love to see him healed, but because he had surgery, so he's probably going to be out for a little bit. So with him being out right now, you have Gervonta Tank Davis, you have Devin Haney, you have Teofimo Lopez, you have Ryan Garcia. Those are four guys right there.
Yep.
You can literally roll the dice, pick any four of those guys, match them up, and then the winner fight. And then the winner of those, out of those four, let's just split them apart.
Well, I'd imagine you need the belts. So if we're looking at it from a bracketology standpoint, you need the belts on opposite sides.
Who I don't know who holds the other belt in that division.
Well, I thought it was Haney, wasn't it?
Does Haney have it?
Yeah.
I'm not positive actually. He does. He's got the WBC. Yep, you're exactly right. So that.
Come on, man.
Then you're perfect.
Come on, man.
Then you're perfect.
Don't challenge me on the boxing knowledge.
It wasn't a challenge. It was. You have. So let's do Teofimo Lopez versus Ryan Garcia.
Okay.
Let's do Devin Haney versus Tank, which is Gervonta Davis.
Yeah.
And then the winner fights them. And then by the time they're done fighting,
Lomo's back.
Boom. That division could go on for a couple of years.
For a little bit, because then
that's a couple of years.
See.
That's literally a couple of years.
That's interesting.
You're welcome. Promoters, better sign me up. You're welcome.
That's pretty interesting.
That's a great. And then, honestly, even minus the titles, you can mix and match those four still. Because right now, the titles do matter, but Lopez owns the bulk of the titles anyway. So, you know what could really jack that whole deal up, too, is Lopez, Teofimo Lopez, lose to one of those guys first, and then you're just like, boom, that makes even more fights.
Yeah.
Then you got Lomachenko still in the waiting wings over here. So it's
a win. It's a
cool division.
win, I think, for everybody involved. And you're right. That stretches out a couple of years.
That's called job stability. That's a couple of years of job stability, and we all can appreciate that right now.
And fan stability. There you go.
Yeah.
Fans have stuff to look forward to in the lightweight division of all things, right?
135 is popping.
Yeah.
Like we just named a good possible 4 big fights that could happen easily.
Yeah.
Literally, those two. That's more than 4 actually. But anyway, it could be exciting.
Mm-hmm.
And then to like culminate it all, you have Lomachenko when he comes back from injury. Even though people would say Lopez beat him, but he's injured right now, so we'll go with those 4, and the winner of all of that little tournament, Lomachenko's good when he comes back. Boom, fight them all, and I bet Lomachenko wins.
We shall see.
Possibly he's 32, 33, but he's got a lot of fights under his belt too.
We shall see. So I think that's starting to be set up pretty properly. You did mention Ryan Garcia. His next bout is December 5th, correct?
Yep, he's fighting in California.
Okay.
Which I'm possibly, again...
What a wonderful segue. Let's talk about that.
...have a fighter that will fight on the undercard, a woman fighter, which I know Brandon loves women professional sports.
I do.
But
I mean, if
it's a possibility.
I love women's professional sports as long as it's not WNBA, softball... I'm sorry. And women's professional soccer. I'm just kidding, ladies. I think you're great athletes, you're professionals, and, whatever. But no, it's we talked a little bit about it last week, so let's start talking about December 5th. I don't want to get wrapped up in that because we have several weeks leading up to it, but there's a lot of action going on between now and December 5th too. But let's give a couple bullet points. We got Ryan Garcia December 5th. That is in California. I didn't recall. Do you know where in California that is?
Indio, California, which is near Palm Springs.
Okay. That's right. And so walk me through that real quickly. We'll give more love to it probably closer to Thanksgiving, obviously, but give me a couple bullet points with regard to that bout.
You know what? I'm looking it up right now too, and I'm not sure who he's fighting now because it's not showing up. I thought he was fighting Luke Campbell, but I don't see it really showing up on the list.
Okay, well.
Regardless, Ryan Garcia, that's another showcase fight for this kid. This kid's this kid has taken over social media. This is a social media age. This kid is a popular star on social media. He's got like 8 million Instagram followers.
But it's another fight to showcase ability. It's not a gotcha fight by any means.
No. I believe it's Luke Campbell that he's fighting, so that's why I'm trying to just double check it right now. I'm on the computer looking, but I believe it was supposed to be Luke Campbell, if I'm right, and I think I'm right. Yeah, 20-3. Hold on, Luke Campbell's 20-3 as a pro. Yeah, I believe it's Luke Campbell. That's what it initially was, and Luke Campbell fought last year. He fought Lomachenko to a 12-round. He lost a 12-round unanimous decision. To Lomachenko, so it's a good fight. It's not a gimme fight either at all. And December 5th is turning out to be a lot of fights on that card.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
We're skipping over Terence Crawford is fighting in November, next week. Next week actually.
Weekend. So we'll devote a little more segment of this show to that. I just wanted to kind of glance over some stuff that is recently happening. You just mentioned Garcia's name, so we'll talk about that. But December 5th in general, you mentioned a lot of stuff happening that night. Well, how about our heavyweight love? How about Tyson Fury?
Tyson Fury, my man.
And supposedly having an opponent who is agreed in principle. I don't think a contract's been signed yet, but Ajit Kabayel, am I saying that right? Ajit Kabayel, ranked 15th in WBC, 9th if you're looking at WBA or IBF. German fighter. Wrote some stats for you, stat boy.
Give it to me.
20-0, 13 KOs.
Not bad.
That's what you'd expect for a 15th rank, heavyweight.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of a letdown because we thought we were going to get Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury.
Well, that was pulled. I mean, when they were looking at a later December date, that was pulled. And the excuse given was there's a lot of sports dominating the time frame, and that was Aaron saying that.
Tyson Fury dominates sports. This guy is a massive rating hit. He went commercial. This guy's so commercial because of his story, because of his fighting, everything. So the fact that he's fighting, I'm happy because what that sets up is Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua in
which
2021.
Which Tyson Fury's promoter has already come out and saying that's the next one.
And I like it.
Hands down.
I love it.
Both those guys have to get through their fights, both in December.
Yep.
You know, we have
Pulev, I think Joshua's fighting Pulev.
Yeah, so we have that the week following in December. Well, once again, it's almost that semi-bracketology sort of thing, which as a sports fan, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like to see the progression to, okay,
Yep.
I can see what they're
There's a
doing
little
here.
lead up, a little build up.
There's a lead up, and you see the point. But also, there's the potential for somebody to come in as the Cinderella story and screw it all up. I think it makes for good writing. I think it makes for good sports.
I call it job stability. Even when a guy comes in and screws it all up, if any of these guys upset either Tyson Fury or Anthony Joshua, there's an immediate rematch clause. Mm-hmm. They'll come back and they'll beat the guy. It's just job security. Yeah. You're guaranteed another fight, and then they will move on to the bigger fight for sure. Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury is the big fight that everybody's looking for. It'll happen. If there's an upset in between, it'll just be delayed a little bit, but it's still going to happen. Yeah. But I'm predicting without a doubt in my mind, because what I say, first part of our episodes, if they end up fighting within the weekend of each other, they're trying to set up a fight. Of course. And that's what they're doing. And Tyson Fury's fighting, Anthony Joshua's fighting. They're setting up a fight in 2021. Yeah. It's going to happen.
Well, so to one of the questions you got on Facebook Live, so we do the pre-show on Facebook Live.
We do a little pre-game.
We call it the pre-game. Now we do.
I called that today too on the title.
So one of the questions you were asked was big fights you see coming in 2021. Well, bingo right there. I mean, a lot of it depends.
That is one, actually, and I didn't know that one.
A lot of it depends. A lot of it depends on how the year plays out now. And thank God 2020 is almost over. But we have 2021, that probably being the main headline fight.
Yeah, you're probably 100% right. And that kind of slipped my mind, because when the guy told me that, I go, listen, 2020 is too exciting to even think about 2021 yet when you're talking about boxing news. Mm-hmm. We got Terence Crawford fighting, we got Errol Spence fighting, we got Tyson Fury fighting, we got Anthony Joshua fighting, we got Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr. fighting. This is all in the next 2 months, less than 2 months, Brandon. Literally November into December. How exciting is that, man?
What's the date on Errol Spence again? That's not the 5th as well.
I think that's the 5th.
Look it up real quick.
100%. I'm going to go on a limb and tell you that I'm pretty sure
What's everyone doing on December 5th? How many TVs do you have? Because there's a lot of stuff to watch.
We're about to pull some fun. Errol the Truth Spence. We're about to have some fun because he's also December 5th.
Goodness gracious.
This is like early Christmas.
All right, so
this is early Christmas.
So folks, here we go. And this might
Danny Garcia, Errol Spence.
This will lead us into probably talking about Terence Crawford here. This coming weekend, Terence Crawford. Then
versus Kell Brook, amazing fight.
Yeah, good fight. Then you have a week where I don't think there's anything really headlining. And then you got Thanksgiving. There's something happening Thanksgiving weekend. Oh, yeah, it's Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr.
No big deal.
No big deal, right? And watch there be a call-out for Evander Holyfield also in 2021.
It'll happen.
I'm
telling you it'll happen. If Tyson wins, it'll happen. Even if he doesn't, I can see Roy calling him out.
So that's November 28th. And then you go to the next week, December 5th, and there's all that crap going on. How many different cards are on December 5th? So far, we labeled 3.
Phenomenal. People don't realize when I tell them how boxing is hot right now.
And then the week after is Anthony Joshua and Pulev.
And then we have Christmas, which is your favorite.
I love Christmas.
I know, Brandon.
What's not to love about Christmas?
I love it, too.
So
it's Jesus Christ's birthday, right?
It is. Well, I mean, that's the day we celebrate it.
Yep,
we,
that's
in
fair.
old Christianity purposes, we moved it to a pagan holiday in order to take it over so we could, mass convert people. We have a very checkered past in Christianity. I understand that.
Every civilization has a checkered past.
Exactly.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Look at every single civilization.
Everyone get off.
Checkered.
Everyone get off your high horse about everything. You all have a checkered past too.
I like horses.
I don't like riding horses. I don't like animals that are bigger than me.
Is it a control thing?
Yes.
It's fair, but you can control a horse.
Well, horses, my spouse knows this because she worked with horses for quite some time and trained them, and also she was a jumper. And horses are dumb. They're dumb animals. So anything can spook horses, and a lot of injuries happen. I mean, Superman, look at that.
Christopher Reeve, yep.
Yeah. Yep. So I just don't like horses in general. They're just not my jam.
You're also naming one out of millions of people who ride horses.
Well, I just don't like them. I've ridden horses.
I've rode horses.
I've been on horses a couple times. I just don't like it.
It's not your forte.
It's not my jam. It's not my jam.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
But I actually don't think horses are dumb.
They are. They're not smart animals. Legit.
Well, first of all, they let us ride them all over the place, so that's not smart. But
hold on, we're told to believe science on everything, right? Well, the science is they're not very smart. Okay. So anyway, what?
I didn't know that.
We were talking about a joyous time of year, Christmas.
Believe the science, Brandon. Believe the science.
Yeah, supposedly. What happened? What happened to Christmas?
I love Christmas.
So, frankly, I've been listening to Christmas music for the past few days. Okay.
I saw your snap.
Okay. No, you saw it on Facebook.
Facebook, yeah.
Yeah, because I don't have that.
Yeah.
But what you didn't see was that I have put the trim lights on my house already.
I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah. That is me. I do it early. Whatever. You know what?
Hey, I'm okay with it. I like seeing the Christmas lights. I don't decorate early, but I'm okay with people that do because I like to look at it. I'll put my tree up, and it'll stay up for like months after.
Well, look, I haven't done that yet. I know at some point
That's out of sheer laziness.
I have. So we used to do a real one, and I grew up with a real one, but it's just too messy. So I'm sorry for the purists that might be listening to this. I don't use a real tree. I use a fake tree. But it's pre-lit, and it's easy. It goes into a box, and it looks great. And I could change the settings. It does all sorts of stuff.
So we do too.
Yeah, so what? But we haven't pulled that stuff out and decorated the inside of the house. It's only, I've started the outside. I didn't do everything yet. I have a lot.
Wait,
I'm almost like Clark Griswold.
I'll come over and help. Does your HOA have a rule about decorating early?
No. And if they do, I'll break it. Lawyer up.
It's worth it.
Lawyer up.
Lawyer up.
B Money has the lawyers. He has his team.
Weighing in with Travis Hartman. Do we have a legal team? We need to get one.
We can get one.
We need to get one.
If anyone wants to sponsor our show with regard to being a legal presence, we would appreciate that.
We definitely could probably use your help.
Which is a good time. I want to thank our media, or not sponsors, but our media partners.
Yeah.
We have TH Boxing, we have Gulfstream Financial, and we have IF Enterprises.
We appreciate your...
Thank you so much. We always appreciate you.
Always.
Okay. So Christmas is a fun time of year, and I'm very, very excited. Not because I'm not a gift guy, Weekend Trav, and I'm sorry this has become about me. I'm not a gift guy. I just enjoy the holidays. I enjoy the season.
There's nothing wrong with that.
You know,
I like
we
the
need
happiness.
a little cheer leading into the end of the year. That was good, right?
That was very good.
Okay.
Are you talking about unity?
No.
Oh. Okay.
Because that's not possible if both sides, if everybody doesn't want to unite.
I was just trying to rope you into that one for sure.
Yeah, I know. That's okay.
But I like happy times, and I like happy people, and I want people to be happy, and I want people to love each other. And what's our motto on this show?
Well, it's not necessarily our motto.
It should be, though.
ELE.
Everybody love everybody.
Okay.
Why can't we just do that?
Okay. So.
Can I be like a hippie for like a second? Like, why can't everybody just love everybody? Why does it have to be so difficult?
Go on it. Go on it.
Why does it have to be so difficult? Why can't you be my friend and we can disagree on certain topics?
Actually, you can be. It's just some people aren't capable of it.
Yes, I think it's a maturity level. It's a cultural thing too as well. But yeah, it's really different because I know.
Listen, some people.
Give it to me.
Some people like pineapple on a pizza and they'll eat it. Other people can't stand it. And I've seen this divide relationships like no other.
Right.
When somebody doesn't like pineapple on their pizza and they look at somebody that does like pineapple on their pizza and they're like, you must be an idiot.
All right, I got to be a hypocrite for a second. That's where I got to draw the line.
Hmm?
Everybody can't love everybody. Because if you put pineapple on your pizza, we cannot be friends. Do you put pineapple on your pizza?
I've eaten Hawaiian-style pizza many a times in my life. It's good.
We can't even be friends anymore.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Well,
I like to have fun with that, but I don't put pineapple on my pizza because I love pizza as pizza.
But you know, Weekend Trev, that's something that's been bothering me recently.
Uh-oh.
Is when I look at people looking at others that eat their pizza with pineapple, and they're like, this person is an idiot. I can't stand them.
Isn't that crazy?
Ignore everything else about them, but the fact that they eat their pineapple with pizza, and whoever decided to put the pineapple on the pizza is probably the worst human being ever. And I hate them so much that I'm going to hate everybody else and speak poorly against those people that eat pineapple or pizza with pineapple on it. They disgust me. And you know what? My pizza without pineapple is probably ranked more favorably, and I'm going to rub that in their face and never let them forget that they are stupid for liking pineapple on their pizza.
You know what? It's this book that I'm reading called Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. That inspired my fitness journey, by the way, too. He has this thing. It's called the accountability mirror. He looks in the mirror, and he's honest with himself. So what I like to tell people that disrespect other people for putting pineapple on their pizza, I ask those people to go look in the mirror. Let me know what you're really mad at. Because they're probably not really mad at the pineapple on the pizza.
Yeah.
It's like this whole, there was this Big Daddy with Adam Sandler. That was a movie.
Yeah.
It's a really, really funny episode. He's like out in the park having fun. This guy is like angry with him. And Adam Sandler says, "You're not mad at me, you're mad at your father." Yeah. And the kid like walks off crying. "Yeah, you're right, I hate my father." Which, it's a joke, but it's true because most of the time when you see things like, whether it be political or pineapple on pizza, whatever else, you see things on social media. And when people lash out like really hardcore on something that really isn't that hardcore and they lash out on it, it makes me want to, as a Christian, I've learned this now, pray for them. I'm not kidding. I know that sounds whatever, hippie-like, whatever else, but I really do because I'm like, listen, these people, I know that I am not upsetting them that much. It's not me. It's a bigger thing than me. So I pray for them because I want them to be happy. I want them to be happy.
I really think it's not even the pizza with pineapple on it. I think at some point, and it's not, I don't even think it's the person that came up with the concept of pineapple on pizza. I think somewhere along the lines, maybe when they were younger, somebody hit them with the pineapple. Or somebody told them, your pizza sucks.
Or they forced them to eat that pineapple.
Or forced them to eat pizza with pineapple on it. You know what? There's a lot of variety of reasons that people are they have spite and vitriol and hatred to people. You know, I mean, the whole pizza concept, it really separates people.
It does. It's a divide. It is a divide in this world.
Yeah. Can't you just order the pizza you want and I order the pizza I want? Isn't that possible?
I vote for pepperoni.
You know who's making out the whole time?
The pizza parlor. Industry?
The pizza parlor.
Let's be the pizza parlor.
Well, the pizza parlor.
That's what we need to do.
Pizza parlor controls more than we know, but they've turned people against it. And you know what's happened? All their sales increase. The pineapple pizza and the normal pizza. The sales are going up. Doesn't matter.
You're speaking some truth right now.
Because they've spun the customers against themselves. And you know what's even worse? The commercials for all these pizza products.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
They
lure you in.
It's really turned people against each other, especially the pineapple eaters versus the non-pineapple people. It's terrible.
You know, I've been sucked into that because I am not a pineapple eater.
And
I'm a pepperoni guy.
So I enjoy a good Hawaiian style pizza. You get the Canadian bacon, you get the pineapple, you get a little light red sauce. It's good. It's not my preference.
See, it's not my preference either. I'll do pepperoni or I'll do Supreme. That's it.
I like Supreme.
That's all.
I actually started, this is a little off topic, I guess, because it's a boxing podcast.
We've been off topic for a bit.
I've actually started eating, before the carnivore thing, I was starting to eat more just all veggies on it, including, which I hated for a long time. Hate is a big word now. Hated black olives. I started eating black olives on pizza.
Nope. I don't like them.
Yeah, no. Don't get me wrong. I hate black. I don't like the taste of them. But
that's the only thing I don't like on Supreme Pizza is the black olives.
You know what? It adds a little element of flavor to it. I'm not eating them by themselves. I know they're good for me.
Those are a little extra taste.
They're good for me, I know. But if one slice had like 6 of them, can't do that.
I can't.
You would hear me chewing that, and I know you'd hate it.
I know. I should never have said that.
Now everyone knows. You have this thing about people chewing, and even worse, people that eat pizza with pineapple on it.
I love pepperoni.
Well, I like pepperoni too. My favorite, though, is our local joint here, Marco's. I like the thin crust with mushrooms. That's it. Just mushrooms and the cheese and the sauce.
I've been hooked on the pepperoni with jalapenos.
Dude, I'm so hungry right now, and we're talking about all this pizza.
Do you want to order Marco's?
No, because I can't eat it.
Oh, sorry.
You can't eat it.
That sucks, man. That really sucks.
Yeah, but so does the pizza industry. It sucks.
Yeah, the pizza industry.
It stirred the commercial pots so much against each other.
We can't call it Pizzagate, right? Because that's something else.
That is something else. That's loosely related.
But I want to call this Pizzagate.
It could be. It might be PineappleGate.
But people,
PineappleGate.
That's better. PineappleGate.
Hashtag it.
We're doing PineappleGate. Stop judging us how we eat our pizza. However, I am a non-pineapple eater. Brandon is a pineapple eater. So, guess what happens?
It doesn't work for the analogy, though.
We're still friends.
It doesn't work for the analogy.
PineappleGate.
But what I will say is that
you team pineapple or you not?
If I go to a party that might last for a handful of years and all they have is pizza without pineapple, I'm going to eat the dang pizza. I almost said the other D word, but I said dang. I'll eat the pizza without pineapple.
Well, here's the deal. If I go to a party, Brandon,
yeah,
for the next 4 years,
yeah,
and the only food is at that party, and I haven't eaten, and they put pineapple on that pizza,
you gotta eat.
I'm gonna eat it. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna look at all my friends and be like, hey, don't starve. You should eat it too.
Yeah, yeah.
We're gonna root for that pineapple pizza.
Yeah.
To fulfill all of our needs.
And hopefully the pineapple doesn't make us sick. Okay, I think that's probably a good place for us to take a pause. This thing got off track. We're going to get back on track, starting with Terence Crawford.
Boom.
Right after break, we're going to Weekend Trav's homie, Terence Crawford. We're going to chat
my Midwestern homie
about his fight this weekend, and then we'll have, whatever else we need to talk about, we will, because that's what we do here, right? I did this. You didn't see it. I will
see it when I watch this episode later.
For those that have not yet done so, please subscribe below. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe below, hit the bell icon, and you will get updated on all the stuff we put on YouTube. And then also, we're on Spotify, Facebook, iTunes, Amazon Alexa, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts. There's a bunch of them. We're there. You can listen to us. The audio of this will be up before the video. But we want all the love because we need it. We weren't hugged enough as children, so we need the love.
And I didn't grow up with pineapple on my pizza.
But I did. Well, because I was born in California. That's another topic.
Oh, this all is making sense.
But we escaped. We moved when I was 6. Anyways, we'll be back. Thank you very much for the support, but we will be back in a few moments. I needs the meats.
That's what she said.
It is. So we are back from our little pause here on Weighing In with Travis Hartman. Thank you so much to those who have been subscribing or following our content. If you haven't done so already, please do. We are everywhere, and we are here for you. One thing that we haven't talked about yet is the bourbon that we're drinking, and we usually do that right after break. So today we are drinking this Woodinville straight bourbon whiskey, and that's Woodin, Woodin-ville, and straight out of Washington State. I was wondering why it was kind of bitter. Washington State. I'm just kidding. It's not that bitter at all. No, actually, it's I don't know. How would you describe this there, Weekend Trav?
Not one of my favorites.
Me either.
But not the bottom of the barrel either. The Costco Kirkland version is still the 0. But the rating, what do we do, 1 to 10, right?
1 to 10 boxing gloves. Now, what I will say is when I was picking this up, I was reading some of the description and talking about notes of rich caramel and dark chocolate and vanilla bean on the palate with a sweet lingering finish. I'm not getting a sweet lingering finish, are you?
That sounds phenomenal, though. I would have bought it too. I would have bought it for that.
Yeah, so it's you live and learn. It's not like awful by any means. It's but it's not one that I'm going to reach on my shelf to go get either.
As I'm going to pour some more though.
Yeah, go for it. So I think overall it's good. We've had worse, we've had better.
What's your rating? I know mine, but I want to hear yours.
5.9, 5.9 boxing gloves.
I'm going straight on 5.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Middle of the road.
Right? That's where it's like, I don't hate it.
Yeah.
But I don't love it. but I probably wouldn't buy it again either.
Yeah, yeah.
So 5 is...
Okay, so we're averaging that out at 5.45 boxing gloves for the Woodinville straight bourbon whiskey. Listen, it's like Week and Trev said, it's kind of in the middle. I mean,
just got a little bit. It's a little bit of a stronger bite at the first.
Absolutely. Not even.
That's if you can take a strong bite, take it.
Yeah.
But for us, for me personally, I don't like the strong bite at the front.
And usually what I do anyways with almost all of these is I'll let the ice melt a bit into it because I think it opens it up. It didn't really change it.
No.
It didn't. It was the same on the way out of the bottle as it was after some little water in it, a little ice melted in.
Yep.
So,
agreed.
So hold on, jotting the note. 5.45 on the bourbon.
I give it straight on 5.
Okay. Yeah, but we averaged it because that's how we do things here. Right? All right. So that is the bourbon portion of the episode. And we are going to now get back because I think we're done talking about pineapple flavored or pizza with pineapple on it and pizza, right? The pizza discussion's over.
Is PineappleGate over?
No, PineappleGate's probably going to keep on going.
Okay. Then
but
for tonight, PineappleGate,
it's
all
over.
Right, we'll let it go.
It's over. Plus,
L-I-G it, Reggie.
Plus, I'm on this carnivore diet, and the more we talk about pizza with pineapple, I'm freaking hungry. I'm famished.
You can't have pizza though, can you?
No.
Man,
carbs.
That sucks, dude.
No, it's carbs.
How long are you doing this for again?
30 days, and then I'll probably go into like a traditional keto diet, which I don't know. I got to check on all that stuff, but it's much more relaxed than this is. This is straight up just meat and water. You're cooking with butter and salt. I know it sounds very appealing at first, but it gets challenging. You have to manage your fat intake because you need fats. And you have no carbs going into your body, and it's as appealing as cooking a steak is every day. It's not. After a little while, it's like, I'm tired of this. Tired of it.
Of anything.
Of anything, really. But, it is what it is.
I couldn't eat pizza every day.
Right now, I think I could.
You think, but you couldn't.
I know.
I love Chipotle. Although I did eat Chipotle twice in one day multiple times. I haven't had Chipotle for a little while.
That's interesting.
But I did have a Chipotle-like place a couple days ago.
And watch this. You haven't had Chipotle in a while, and you've lost weight.
Yeah, that's just because
or slimmed down, or
it's just because I've been working. But I've lost about 6 or 7 pounds. But the main thing, it wasn't weight for me. It was I wanted to tone up because I wanted to tone up because I didn't really put on any weight because I was very active still. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like you called me lazy. I wasn't lazy.
I was joking with you.
But
you can't see my joking face behind this.
On Spotify, they can't see it.
You can't.
But my weight was staying down because I was super active, but all of my tone went away. Like I stopped being toned. I stopped having any kind of tone. I stopped having abs. I didn't get really a belly, but it was just flabby, though. It was loose, and I saw a couple pictures of myself, and I was just like, what the heck is going on?
That's what got me when I'm editing these things, and I would see myself. I'm like, what happened? But I think you're right. So what I think helped you, it wasn't just the focus changing or reading the book or whatever else. It's also your sleep got better because you have your weekends clear, right? So that helped, and also your dietary intake.
Yep.
Big. Those are huge.
And really what I did with my diet was I didn't do anything special, like I said, but I do eat a lot more vegetarian type, plant-based type deals. I do, but I still eat meat. But all I did was I just cut my food back. Well, that's it. Something so simple
aside from these two bowls of pretzels, you don't snack much.
I don't.
Yeah.
Normally I don't.
Yeah.
But since I've been home today, though, Weekend Trav, I went off the rails, though, when I got home today.
Wow.
I had a fudge-sickle. I had a ginger ale.
It's not terrible.
I had pretzels. What have I eaten? Oh, and I had a little ravioli out of a can. Very high in sodium.
Not good.
Do not do those. They're very bad. I'm not recommending those.
So for those that might be questioning, hey, well, why are you guys drinking bourbon? Keep in mind, this is carb-free. Bourbon is carb-free. It is keto-friendly.
Good for you.
Yeah, good for me. But I miss beer. I'll be honest. I'm a big beer guy. I like craft beer. I like different kinds.
High
IPAs.
In carbs.
Too high in carbs. I can't have that. And so in the future, depending on how long I really continue this process, I don't know. It's hard to anyone that's doing something crazy with their diet or their exercise habits, you can't project it out beyond a short window. Like you can't say a year from now I'm going to be doing this because you just don't know. But if I'm looking at, having anything like that kind of beer or whatever else. I have to plan for it, as I exit this. I can't have it right now, but when I exit this and go into maybe keto or something else, I have to plan for that because that's a lot of carb intake. It really is. So we ain't getting younger. That's the thing.
We're not. We have to, and it's not even about, again, you said it earlier too, it's not about weight.
No.
It's just about getting healthier.
Yeah.
And the less that we do weigh, though, for the most part, it does help a little bit on your heart, things like that. So if you're up there in the 200s, 300s, you need to get below that. Like, I have a guy that I'm training, actually, is a younger kid.
Yeah.
He played football. He's a bigger guy naturally anyway. He is. He's over 300 pounds. I told him, I was like, you got to get under 300 pounds. Not just for boxing. I was like, but just for your health.
Yeah.
Because there are massive statistics that say anybody over 300 pounds, your risk of having heart disease, all that stuff is through the roof. And I was like, dude, you just, not just for athletic reasons, but for your health, man, you got to get below 300.
Yeah,
so
for
sometimes
me,
it is about weight.
Well, for me, it wasn't necessarily weight. That's a nice benefit from it, but it was, and I think I mentioned this last week or the week prior. I am big into the mental, physical, and spiritual components are all intertwined. So if something is lacking there, it's going to affect everything else. So for instance, I wanted to get back refocused and re-engaged in the gym. I haven't been there for a while, but my mind hasn't been right. My spiritual side has just kind of been disconnected. So getting those back on track helps me back into the gym. Now, from what weights I'm putting up, from a lifting standpoint, yeah, I got to build back up because number one, my energy level is a lot different. But secondly,
because carbs are energy, you need carbs for working out usually.
Yeah, but so now my body has converted itself into having to burn off fat stored cells. But I need like all sorts of stuff now. So even on the boxing workouts, when I had a boxing workout on Saturday, I can't do the full hours to the intensity I want. Yeah. So like 40 minutes in, I cut off, and I'm like, I got to get on the treadmill or lift. I got to do something different because I can't sustain this right now. So it's tough. It's a challenge, but my mind is back right, and spiritually speaking, I'm back focused and motivated. That's why I am doing this.
I love that, dude.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you that's why we're very, very like-minded people, and that's why I love doing this show together because we can talk about our journeys like that. And seriously, the last 5 to 6 weeks, I went on this just massive it was David Goggins set this thing off, man. He's a crazy dude. I do not want to be like him because he is over the top. Yeah. But you can take parts from guys like that and go with it, and that's exactly what I did. I stopped being a little bit of a wuss. Because it's true, though. It doesn't mean that I wasn't working hard, because I was. I was waking up at 4:15 a.m. and going in the house at 7 p.m.
Right.
Okay? It was a long day in the gym, but I was just like, what do I want? What is my why? And that's why I looked in the mirror, I'm like, what is my why? Like, what do I need to do? I'm looking at myself, I'm not happy. It's called the accountability mirror. I looked in the mirror and I was just like, this is not what I want. This is definitely not who I am. I seen a couple of pictures too, and I'm just like, what the heck? Like, I'm supposed to be fit. I'm supposed to be a professional athlete. I'm supposed to be a personal trainer. And not only that, I actually genuinely, all of that didn't really matter that much, but I looked in the mirror and I was like, I don't like what I'm looking at. Yeah. And I was like, because of boxing, I've never really been able to transform my body because all of my workouts were more based on performance. And all the big muscles and all that stuff doesn't necessarily translate to performance in boxing. Correct. So I was never able to focus on that type of stuff. Now that I haven't fought for over a year and I'm kind of just training for myself right now, it's been the best I've ever been. I'm literally, Brandon, I'm 37 years old, and I'm genuinely can tell you right now, I just went in and did some boxing and some training and some sparring up in Baltimore too. I'm in the best shape I've ever been in my entire life. Great. When I say that, I'm not I'm literally in the best shape I've ever been in my entire life, but not just physically, mentally. Good. And spiritually. Like what you were saying earlier, it's so true. Like when you get your body right, get your mind right, it all just starts falling into place. And and that's where I'm at. And it's opened up a lot of stuff. It's opened up my mind. It's opened up to a lot of opportunities, things like that. And I'm happy with it. And I think everybody should follow both of our journeys. You're on a different little path of what you're doing. I'm on a different path. We're doing two different things, but the ultimate goal is probably similar to the same, but you're getting to that goal in a different way. Yeah.
Let's be better. Listen, and when you're doing those things, it helps because it doesn't mean all of a sudden life is easy and all the good stuff happens. But what happens, what's interesting is that when negative things happen, you're able to get through that or navigate through it with a different outlook, a different perspective. When you have all these elements in line, and I'm not, to use some of your wording, I'm not like some hippie sort of whatever, but when you
no
have...
offense to hippies.
No,
love
I'm
you.
sure all two
We
of
love
you that
you.
may have ever watched this. But when all those things are lined up and working together and you're pushing forward to be a better person, then I become a better husband. Then I become a better father. Then I'm being a better friend. I'm being a better financial advisor. I'm being a better all these things. Not because of, I'm only eating meat. No, it's because I have all these things finally firing at the same time. All these things in my, that create you as a person, as a human being. They're all kind of firing at the same time of self-betterment, self-fulfillment, self-actualization, all those big boy words. And it's cool, and it's good. And God is good, and you know what? I enjoy this journey, and it's cool you're on your journey too.
God is great.
That is true.
Not just good.
Well,
He's
yeah.
great. What
He's
I want to
good
say,
indeed.
I forgot to mention that we're on all this like spiritual talk as well, that Alex Trebek passed away.
Rest in peace.
And rest in peace, Alex Trebek. But I wanted to read a quote from him that just,
Okay.
it reminded me of all the stuff that we're saying. Like, you're on this journey, right? And it's not always about all the existential stuff, like the money, the cars, all of that crazy stuff. That it doesn't even matter. The fame, because Alex Trebek was very famous, right?
Stuff, yeah.
Alex Trebek said something. He said, "I'm often asked how I'd like to be remembered. I don't think about it much, but I suppose if I had to answer, I would say I like to be remembered, first of all, as a good and loving husband and father, and also as a decent man who did his best to help people perform at their best." So
that's awesome. See, that is what I want.
Love that.
That's what I want.
And that's what I always tell people the same thing, Brandon, is that I don't care what you think about me at the end of the day. All of these judgments that I get on Facebook, because I get a lot from my political
I've defended
views.
them, dude. I can't.
And I appreciate it.
It's exhausting to defend you.
And I know, but like you don't even have to. But I do
I
appreciate
know, but I do
doing
because
it.
you're my friend.
And but you're right though. You made a comment today. It made me happy because you were just like, Travis would give a shirt off his back to these people, and I would.
Yeah.
100%. I am a sucker for the homeless people. I was in D.C. and I'm a sucker. Most of those people, they're probably not even homeless, but I'm a sucker, and I will give them money, or I will literally take them into a store,
that's not being a sucker.
and I will buy them
That's not
food.
being a sucker. That's being empathetic and being compassionate.
That's the thing, though. Like, I want to be remembered as somebody who actually cared, who helped people at all costs, and that's what I do for a living.
And
like,
I'm
a personal trainer. I try to help as many people as I
And how
can.
many of these people who rip you apart because you don't like pizza with pineapple on it? How many of them roll their windows up at the stop signs when somebody's needing a handout?
Probably most of them.
Hand up or whatever.
But you know what, though? That's why, like, I appreciate the defense for sure, but that's also why I don't let them affect me as much, because I know that I affect more people positively. I can't let a couple bad apples blow my candle out to make theirs brighter. Literally, I can't, and they're not. Like, you're not going to blow my candle out. It's an everlasting candle. You cannot blow it out.
Don't blow Travis's candle out.
Listen, you can shine bright like a diamond too. You don't have to blow mine out.
What are we doing here? What are we doing? Step
We're getting
aside.
all philosophical,
I'm
man.
changing.
You know
I got
what?
to change the category of our podcast after today. Goodness gracious.
We're in lifestyle now.
Wow.
It's a lifestyle channel.
Wow. So listen, for anyone else that's going through any sort of journey or want some, I don't know, thoughts or questions.
It's men's health too. That's why you do Movember.
Men's health, absolutely. Men's health isn't all about different cancers things. I mean, to me, that one of the biggest components is mental health. It's the psychology and the anxiety and all these things that we deal with. I know women deal with it too, but ladies, let us have our month. So that's why this is big. If anyone listening to our voices wants any sort of feedback, accountability, whatever it is, maybe just chat about stuff you're dealing with, reach out to us. Comment on the YouTube, whatever it is. All of us are in this journey together. We're all like, once again, I'm a Christian, but I know it's going to sound kind of like a weird hippie vibe. We're all interconnected in this thing, right? We are all the human race, and we're all kind of pushing towards, hopefully, betterment. And I'm a big believer in cutting things out that are negative, people specifically. Sometimes you have to do that too, and this is probably a good season to do that. I think we're starting to see a lot more of that. Pizza season.
As pineapple season is upon us,
PineappleGate, yeah.
I have been removed from people's lives, not because of myself, but I'm actually probably happier now. But people have deleted me on Facebook more than ever, Brandon,
Yeah.
that I've ever been deleted and Instagram unfollowed because of PineappleGate. Like, people, can we get over PineappleGate? Can we move past this?
It's early.
Can 2020 just move on?
Well, it's what we don't want 2020 to move on from is some of these excellent boxing bouts we have. And one of them in particular is this weekend, and that is Terence Crawford versus
Kell Brook.
Kell Brook. So let's get into that, please.
I'm looking, so this is so funny because we're talking about off air a little bit, and Brandon was like, do you know Kell Brook? I'm like, yes, I know Kell Brook. Kell Brook's a big-time fighter from England. Like, he's big time. So I actually have a couple common opponents in common with Kell Brook. Kell Brook fought a guy named Carson Jones. He fought him twice. I fought Carson Jones. Kell Brook fought a guy named Kevin Bizier. I fought Kevin Bizier. Kell Brook also fought Gennady Golovkin. I wish I would have fought Gennady Golovkin to get that payday. I never did. And then now Kell Brook is fighting Terence Crawford, who I fought in the pros as well. So Kell Brook can fight. Kell Brook has fought Golovkin. Kell Brook has fought Errol Spence Jr. And that is why I'm telling you that Terence Crawford is fighting Kell Brook, because what's going to happen is they're going to compare this Terence Crawford versus Kell Brook fight to see who would win between Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, because I'm telling you that's another fight that I'm going to predict that is going to happen in 2021 is Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, pending, obviously, Terence Crawford has to beat Kell Brook, obviously. Errol Spence has to beat Danny Garcia.
Right.
And that would actually fit my mold as well, Brandon, as they're fighting within a couple of weeks of each other.
Yep.
So they're on path to have the same fight dates.
And the bracketology
It's going to
that
happen.
I like. Yep.
The bracketology is going on right now. And I tell people, please listen to me because I know what I'm talking about. When these fighters are fighting so close together, they might not fight directly next, but that means that they're on the same fighting path, same fighting month to fight. So if that fight ever does materialize, they're on path for it because they're fighting 2 weeks apart, which means after you have a big-time fight, you have to take a little bit of a break. All these fighters do it. So now they're both fighting within 2 weeks of each other. Their breaks are going to coincide with each other. So they're both going to be taking breaks. And then when they get back to work again, they're both going to be on the same schedule. So that means that Terence Crawford's fighting Kell Brook. I predict Terence Crawford will win that fight because Terence Crawford, in my opinion, is the pound-for-pound best in the world.
Don't give it all out. We still got a prediction video coming.
I know. And
don't give it all out.
But I just he's too much, in my opinion, for Kell Brook. However, Kell Brook is massive. Kell Brook went all the way up to middleweight, which is 160 to fight Golovkin. Okay, Kell Brook's a big dude. He's coming all the way back down to 147 to fight Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford is moving up to 47. He's only been there for about a year now. So that's why the fight is interesting. Watch this fight. This is going to be a very interesting fight because Kell Brook has a lot on the line because Kell Brook is more towards the end of his career because Kell Brook right now is 39-2, but Kell Brook is also 34 years old. When I say 34 nowadays is not that old.
Right.
Genuinely, it's not even in sports. These guys are fighting beyond their 40s now and being okay. So 34 is not old by no means, but he's got to make something happen though now because he's fought a bunch of top guys. He's beat a couple, but for the most part, he lost to Errol Spence. He lost to Golovkin, which the rest of the world has as well because those two guys have beaten everybody. So those two losses aren't so bad. So, and Terence Crawford loss won't be that bad either, depending on how he loses. But this could be his last chance at a big-time spot. So Kell Brook could come a little extra prepared than all these other fights because he's like, you know what, this could be my last chance at a big-time fight. So we could see, they call him Special K, Kell Brook. We could see a Special K against Crawford. You never know. And Crawford always comes prepared. This guy never takes time off, I feel like. He's always in the gym. The guy's a gym rat. So I think it's going to be a great fight. I think everybody should definitely watch. And I think it could be a possible setup for an Errol Spence Terence Crawford fight.
So what are the details to be able to tune in on this fight, if you have that pulled up?
Well, since Terence Crawford is signed with Top Rank, which is Bob Arum, it'll either be on ESPN or ESPN Plus. It'll be on that. It'll be on that streaming service for sure because he's signed with Top Rank, and that's who Top Rank fights for. So I'm gonna go ahead and say it'll probably be ESPN Plus,
probably
because it's a bigger time fight. It's not a pay-per-view fight, but in order to pay these guys, they will have to have a streaming type of service. And ESPN Plus is a really good streaming service. They're trying to compete with DAZN and the other big-time streaming services on your phone. And I have ESPN Plus, so we're definitely going to watch that fight.
It's all eyeballs, and you know what? That's coming this weekend. So if you have nothing to do on Saturday, or even if you do have stuff to do, cancel plans.
Make time because it's a big
cancel
fight.
the plans. So this is
I'm
a big time
fight. It's a big time.
I mean, we're talking about arguably the best pound for pound fighter in the world fighting. I mean,
I said it before Lomachenko lost to Lopez that my top 3 pound-for-pound fighters in the world were Terence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez, and Lomachenko. You can intertwine those however you want. However, I put Terence Crawford at the top, and I have for a long time. He's undefeated. Most people are like, oh, he's never been tested. Well, I've been in the ring with him. I've also been in the ring with other greats, and he's the top of the line.
Yeah.
He's the cream of the crop.
Yeah, so that is this weekend, and we're going to give a little more focus in on it on a prediction video later this week before the actual bout. But you mentioned another name there that we had a little news on him this week as well, Canelo Alvarez. So I know there's not it doesn't seem like a ton to talk about there, but walk us through what exactly happened with Canelo Alvarez this week.
So Canelo Alvarez, this has been like a long-going dispute. Canelo Alvarez signed with Golden Boy Promotions, which is Oscar De La Hoya. He's been with Oscar De La Hoya, I think, since the majority of his career. I don't remember him with any other promoter. So they've been kind of going back and forth, a little bit of a disagreement for a little while now. And then Canelo, in 2018, signed a 5-year, 11-fight, $365 million deal with DAZN, which is DAZN. It's an online streaming service, super popular. It's a subscription service, which is what everybody's doing now. It's a monthly charge, no pay-per-views. Canelo's fought a couple fights under their banner for about 2 years, and for whatever reason, things haven't been working out. And since the whole COVID thing hit, DAZN, since they're not allowed to have live fans anymore, they came back to Canelo and was like, hey, we want you to fight. However, we want you to fight at a fraction of what we've promised you because of COVID, which business-wise makes sense for them. I get it. They were paying Canelo what they were paying him because Canelo, one, he's a huge attraction. He draws live crowds massively. He draws the television as well. However, when you're paying this guy $365 million over 5 years, it's hard to pay him when you don't have the fans.
Right.
This guy's a big-time deal. So I see what they were trying to do. They were trying to renegotiate it. And Canelo's like, I'm not renegotiating. I get both of their sides. I really do, because boxing is a very rough game. Canelo can't fight forever. So make your money now while you can. I get it. So a massive disagreement has been happening. Canelo finally filed a lawsuit against DAZN, and they amicably worked it out with an arbitrator, and it just got released, I think, last week. Where Canelo,
a few days ago, that it just came out of left field. It felt like all of a sudden they just announced it, like it was nothing.
It's crazy though that he's such a massive figure that Oscar De La Hoya and DAZN said we are happily releasing Canelo Alvarez from all of his contracts. He's now a free agent. Which, if anybody wants to talk about free agency, when you talk about football, basketball, all those things, this is the biggest free agents in the boxing world. Canelo Alvarez, if you haven't heard of the guy's name, Canelo Alvarez is a cash cow of boxing. He's easily the face of boxing, meaning he's the most paid, not just professional boxer, I think almost the most paid professional athlete in all of sports. So this guy's a massive figure.
Right.
The fact that he's a free agent now, it kind of blows my mind. It actually kind of blows my mind because DAZN is huge too. Oscar De La Hoya, Golden Boy Promotions, they're huge too. So I don't know where he goes next, but I know there's a rumored fight in December with Caleb Plant, who also fights for PBC, the Premier Boxing Champion Series, which is Al Heyman ran.
Right.
That's kind of cool because Al Heyman's got some pull, Al Heyman's got some money, and Canelo's a free agent though. So I don't know what's going to happen. If he fights Caleb Plant, who's going to be his promoter? What's he going to do? Is it just going to be him and is expecting PBC to promote that whole thing and pay him a ton of money? I don't know. It's crazy because it's interesting. Let's watch how this plays out because I'll do some updated videos for sure on this because this is all new still. Canelo hasn't signed with anybody. He is a free agent. And I don't know anybody out there that are I don't know, that's big enough that would sign him, because at the end of the day, maybe Canelo is so big that he can't go with anybody else. Maybe he's so big that he's just like, you know what, I'm just going to be me and do my thing.
In today's economy and market, that's a big price tag. That's a big price tag, and I'm not sure who has that kind of coin to pony up right now. Now, especially with fans slowly getting back into the actual stands, that will be a tough one. That would be a tough one for any promotion.
It's going to be tough. I mean, it's interesting to see this play out. However, I mean, this is kind of the thing where all the greats do this. Oscar De La Hoya eventually left Bob Arum. And what Oscar De La Hoya do? He started his own company
so it could happen,
called Golden Boy Promotions, and then made his own thing. Floyd Mayweather was with Top Rank, left Top Rank, and became himself Floyd Mayweather, and he's a global icon now. Look at Canelo Alvarez.
So the roadmap's there, so it could easily happen that way.
It could, and Canelo has a massive Mexican following. Massive. This guy has a massive, and then he's also brought in the average person as well. So Canelo's got a big appeal. So I think that it sucks, but sometimes you just outgrow who you're with, and there doesn't have to be hard feelings all the time, and that's why there was some hard feelings, I think, for a little bit with Oscar and Canelo. That's why there was a lawsuit, but they ended up settling this lawsuit out of court, which was very, very honorable and mature to do it. It got settled out of court,
and
which was awesome.
And we haven't heard any mudslung at all.
None.
So
Oscar actually made a post, I think, on his Instagram that was very, very...
wished him well.
It was good.
Interesting.
So we'll see.
What's going to happen, Weekend Trav, when you get too big for me?
I'm never going to get too big for you, because we're going to grow together.
Oh, okay.
This is what relationships do.
Is that how we part?
We grow together.
Okay. Wow, that's nice. That's a nice thought. All right. So we talked a bit about a lot of different boxing news. Obviously we started on Devin Haney, and then we talked briefly about the heavyweights on December 5th. Right, we didn't give a ton of love there because there's just a lot going on in between now.
There's not a ton of love to give, though, in that fight.
Yeah, that's true, but not enough exposure right now because we have a few weeks to go. And also just discussing things with regard to Terence Crawford, Kell Brook, the Canelo news, things along those lines. Am I missing out on something, Weekend Trav? Am I missing out on any big boxing topic coming up in the next handful of weeks?
Yes, the biggest one. Mike Tyson, Roy Jones Jr.
Oh yeah, those guys. Okay, well,
we did touch on it a tiny. We mentioned it, but we never ran into detail.
I feel like we just keep sprinkling it each week, right? And I didn't want to take away from any of the bigger fights that are happening over these weeks, such as Terence Crawford this weekend. But man, that thing, I feel like it's almost the publicity kind of has cooled a little bit. I'm wondering when it's going to get re-engaged again. Here we go. Don't crunch that pretzel on the mic.
I don't know. I mean, it's Tyson. Yeah. We don't know what to expect. This guy is erratic, and that's why we love him. That's why we tune into him, because we don't know what he's going to do next. That's why Tyson's a massive figure. He's a global figure, because we don't know what he's going to do next. And even though he's 54 years old, the guy's still a little bit loony, for sure. Like, you don't get over that. He's a little bit loony, and he knows he is. And Roy Jones Jr. kind of showed signs of regretting doing this a while back, because he was like, this isn't an exhibition, and he's right, it's not. But they're calling it an exhibition, but it's a fight.
Yeah, but now I think he's definitely mentally engaged. I've seen some stuff coming out of his camp or whatever he's doing. He's starting to look a lot better, like really taking this seriously.
It's Roy Jones Jr., bro.
True, but it's also Roy Jones Jr. at how old? And I get it.
He's younger than Tyson.
I get that.
Like 51, I think he is.
Yeah, I get that. And I know he's fought more recently, but it's still...
Well, I mean, a couple of years ago. That's not that recent.
Sure, and a couple of years at that age, it might as well be a decade, right? It just takes time to get re-engaged and focused. But I think both those guys definitely are. It's going to be a stellar performance, I hope. But I think as we get closer...
I think it's going to be a great... Listen, if you're a boxing aficionado, an expert, you're going to watch that fight and you're going to be like, these guys have clearly slowed down. But if you're an average fan that wants to see like a good boxing match... You have no other judgment but to see what they're doing that night. They both can fight. They both know how to fight. They're both going to come to win. It's going to be a great fight.
It's going to, and there's going to be a circus element to it.
It is. It's entertainment. It's going to be a WWE type element, but it's going to deliver.
So,
I'm telling you, it's going to deliver.
So what we'll do, because like I said, we are today filming November 8th. So by the time you're seeing this on YouTube, it's probably November 9th or 10th. and this bout is, I believe, November 28th. So in our go home to Thanksgiving show, when we're filming that right before Thanksgiving, it's going to be all about this. All about it.
Not about the Packers or the Cowboys.
Well, no, we won. Actually, I got to check the scores. I think you were beating the Steelers earlier today. Yeah, you might want to look.
No way.
Look it up. Look it up right now.
Goodness.
Look
All
it
right.
up. So
carry the show for a second.
Okay, I'm going to carry it. So what we want to do here is probably next week we'll talk a bit on the flip side of this Terence Crawford bout and how it leads into any of the other, the bracketology of things. December's a big month too, but
24-19.
Steelers?
24-19 Steelers, yep.
Final?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, you put up something. You put up something.
Who's Gilbert? That's our quarterback?
He's like a third string guy, basically got him off the street.
And we didn't even have Ezekiel Elliott either.
Yeah, he was kind of hurt.
CeCe Lamb killing it per usual, bro. Good draft pick.
This is what we've done now, is that we're giving the football commentary. This is what it's come to. But no, so in all seriousness, the next few weeks are going to be pretty jammed here on the boxing side of things. But as we lead into Thanksgiving, that final week, that's all about Tyson and Jones Jr., okay? We have our thoughts there on that fight. We also have our thoughts on what's coming after that fight. And we want to spend some time there and revisit some history as to why that's important. What are we doing here? What are you doing with your phone?
I'm trying to take pictures.
A picture of what?
My beautiful beard and my face, but it's like... So, funny story is that mine's
going back. This side's better than this side.
Apple.
It always has been.
If you're listening, Apple,
this side's better.
Hook a brother up. We need a sponsor because my phone keeps breaking and turning off. The shattered phone is actually the phone that works. The unshattered, unbroken phone keeps turning off randomly. Apple, iPhone, help a brother out. I got the MacBook Air even. Come on,
but
guys.
But you're covering up the logo. They don't like that.
Well, you know what? I'll uncover the logo when you start doing something for me. Other than making me pay all this money for this stuff, but this is my logo, so whatever. But I'm sorry. I was taking a picture while we were doing the show because it's all about social media right now. So I was going to post it to our Weighing In with Travis Hartman Instagram page.
There you go. So you can find us on Instagram, Weighing In with Travis Hartman, all one word. Yep. We're on Triller. We just haven't been on it for several weeks, and that's Weighing In TH. We just haven't done it much on Triller.
We do the post show usually on there, though.
Yeah, usually, but we haven't for a few weeks. Facebook, obviously, our Weighing In with Travis Hartman Facebook page. And then, like we always mention, the Spotify. YouTube's big, okay? So we appreciate all the support we've been getting there and all the feedback and whatnot. Is that the picture? What are you putting? I'm sorry, Spotify listeners and everyone else listening on the audio. What are you doing?
I took a picture of that because my selfie camera is broken, so I can't even do a selfie.
Oh, my
gosh.
Cracked. Jeez. Well, I'm at a loss right now.
Don't be.
I can't help it because you're taking photos right now of us filming. You're
live.
Taking photos.
We're live.
We're live.
This is what's going on.
Instagram live or Facebook live?
No,
what are you
doing? We're filming live, but whatever.
Oh.
We're not posting live, but boom. That's all it talks about. Episode 19. Brandon, you're not carrying on very well right now. You're not holding the fort down right now.
I'm sorry.
Travis is trying to do social
I'm sorry.
media.
Listen, I'm sorry.
I'm trying to do.
I can't always be on. I can't always be on. B Money sometimes.
B Money's hungry. B Money's a little hungry.
B Money is a little hungry, and I have some beef bone broth at home. I'm looking forward to drinking when I get there.
That's what she said.
Is it?
I don't know.
Maybe.
She should have said it. If she didn't, she should have.
Okay, maybe. I don't.
Can we just talk about how boxing's phenomenal? We both are getting fitter.
Yeah.
We both are getting healthier.
Okay.
Our mind, our body.
Okay.
God is great.
Yep.
I still love you even though you like pineapple on your pizza.
Mm-hmm.
I am very, very tolerant of you.
Okay.
For that. We live in one of the greatest countries in the world.
We do. No, we live in the greatest country in the world. I don't care who's at the top of that. We always will be.
So yes.
I'm sorry. I will not be apologetic for American arrogance. That's just not.
I don't think it's arrogance. I think it's confidence in our people, and I think that our people have been the most resilient, amazing people of any country that I've ever been to or experienced. Our population and our citizens while we all have our bad eggs and our bad examples, blah, 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 overall, we are a very resilient country. We're a very multicultural country. We are a very strong country, and we set examples for the whole world.
Well,
people can say what they want. People can talk as much trash on us as they want, but you go to their countries, and they try to mimic the United States.
Of course,
everywhere.
or they try to come over here. So no, I'm 100% fine calling it American arrogance. And you know what? For those people in our country that think otherwise or they're going to cry about something, you know what? You're still here.
Yeah.
If you didn't like it over the course of the last 20 years or something, if you don't like it, you could have got the hell out.
What's the phrase? Love it or leave it, baby.
Yeah,
love it or leave it.
So I'm never going to be apologetic for being having that kind of pride in the country and having American arrogance. So what?
You should be proud to be from here. You should be proud to
I
have
am.
pineapple on your pizza.
I am. Now, I mentioned this before break. I was born in California. I moved here.
I'm sorry.
I moved to Florida when I was 6, so I don't really remember a lot. I had some family out there, not a lot anymore. But thankfully, because of the aerospace industry, my father had to transplant the family here to Orlando.
Thank God, or I would have never met you.
That's true. That's true. We can also thank Money Mike Sawyer for convincing you to manage the LA Boxing / UFC gym in Winter Springs.
We can turn a negative into positive if you want.
That-
We'll go there.
I don't even know. He may or may not listen to us either, but
He can listen if he wants, but I turned the negative into a positive still.
yeah, it is what it is. So we are here. I feel like we're just kind of like blah, blah, blah right now. Is that about right?
That's about right. And that's usually what we do, though. We always do that.
Yeah.
We've pretty much smashed all. You know what,
It's
though?
just
I want to give
been-
ourselves some credit, though, Brandon.
Okay.
I would say the past 3 weeks,
Yeah.
we have stayed on boxing.
Yeah.
And that's more of a tribute and a credit to boxing because
It's delivering.
like promoters, television subscribers, you guys are doing your job
Yeah.
right now because that's making our job a lot easier. We usually love to talk about everything. We still do. However, it makes it less time for us to talk about other stuff because we're too busy talking about boxing because there's a ton of it going on.
And frankly, in the rest of our lives, we've been talking about the craziness that's been going on recently.
The PineappleGate.
And honestly, I'm just exhausted by talking about it anymore. I really am, because it's front and center. I get it. There's pizza there, and there's some pizza with pineapple, and there's the pizza industry.
There's two sides
I'm
to every
just
story.
tired. I'm just tired of it right now.
I'm
not tired of you. I'm not tired of boxing.
You're just hungry.
Yeah, I mean, yes and no.
You're just hungry.
Maybe.
You know what?
Hungry Like Wolf. That was a song. Look it up.
I believe you.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, I should have got a Snickers for you.
Dude, that's one of my favorite candies. Oh, so get this.
Can you have a Snickers?
No.
Ah!
But get what
I love Snickers.
Get
I
what
had a
I've been
couple
doing.
this weekend.
Get what I've been doing.
Do you smell them?
It's worse.
Oh my God! I was just joking.
So Halloween is come and gone. My kids have a bunch of Halloween candy, right? And we're now making them reduce it down to only 5 things because they keep eating like 5 to 10 things every day or every time I see them. So what I've been doing is I actually take like a small thing, I chew it up, and then I spit it all out, and I rinse my mouth out, spit everything out, just to get the taste.
Thank goodness that I have so many things that I can say.
I know you.
I have so many things.
I was testing you
And
on this. I wanted to see.
You gave me too many options. I didn't
know.
even know what to pick.
You're overwhelmed.
You
You're
overwhelmed
overwhelmed.
me, and I didn't know what to do with that. I literally left a lot on the plate there,
Yeah.
and I hate you for that.
Yeah.
You gave so many.
You
gave me
mean
too many
that I've been
options.
eating meat a lot and then also having to chew that other stuff and spit it out? The candy, I should say.
That's what she said.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. So that has been a guilty pleasure the past couple of days. I've actually done that. I've taken like the fun-sized Snickers, chewed it up, and then I've spit it out, and then I've rinsed my mouth out so nothing. I actually didn't
God
swallow
bless
any
you for
piece.
being able. Oh, you didn't swallow.
I didn't swallow any piece of candy.
Okay, so God bless you for being able to spit it out. Actually, God hates you for spitting it out.
You're going down a real crooked path here, my friend.
But seriously, though, the willpower to spit it out, how do you do that?
Dude.
I have a lot of willpower because boxing, you have to make weight, a specific weight. So you have to like crash diet for sure. But I've never. went down that path where I've had willpower where people are eating pizza.
Yeah.
I won't eat it because I know I can't. But I've never put it in my mouth.
Well, here's the thing.
Spit it out.
Is that
because if I put it in my mouth, it's going down.
Jeez almighty. Is this PG?
What?
PG-13?
I'm literally, if it goes in my mouth, I'm taking it all.
So what I was going to say is that I try to have integrity with this thing. And once again, bourbon is keto friendly. There's no carbs in this. I get it. It's not from an animal, so this is like my one little guilty thing. But I have a separate YouTube channel where I'm posting progress, or at least giving the kids call it a vlog. Weekend travel.
Well, it's called
a vlog.
It's called a vlog, not a vlog.
I like vlog better.
It's called a vlog.
I like vlog. It sounds cooler.
Yeah, it kind of does sound cool. But will you turn that one back on?
Well, the vlog on the YouTube, just from an accountability standpoint, I've started doing that because there's other carnivore diet people out there, and so I like reading, watching recipes, what they're doing, and I do the same thing, or at least it's kind of like a muddled up version of it. So I have that out there, but I just feel like I would feel guilty if I ate a candy bar or if I slipped, because I see some of these people doing it, and then like they put their recipes on. I'm like, you're using like garlic and stuff like that. That's a plant. Anything you cook with, like I use salt. That comes from, it's not a plant, but it comes from a mine.
Brandon, plant lives matter too.
Yeah, that's why I'm not eating them.
Ooh.
So I would feel guilty if I actually ate the candy bar.
You put it in your mouth, bro. You wasted it. You killed that candy bar.
You know how much candy how much candy we're gonna throw away for my kids' candy bags? Tons.
You better not throw it anyway. Bring it over here because I will trump it.
What do you like?
Everything.
But I'm trying to help you work on you. What would David Goggins say?
Well,
or what'd your accountability mirror say?
Well,
as you're stuffing your face full of Snickers like some fat kid on Halloween night.
It would say, Travis, did you enjoy it? I would say yes. And then it would say, did you go work it off? And then I would say probably no because it's Sunday. Mm-hmm. This is God's day. It's rest day. And I haven't done anything today, and I've already had a fudge sickle, so you're probably right. Keep that candy away from me. But I don't like you to waste, though. Don't throw it away.
Did I tell you the cheesecake story? I turned away cheesecake, bro.
I love cheesecake.
It was from Brooklyn. I turned it away.
I love cheesecake. It doesn't matter where it's from. I love cheesecake.
No, but Brooklyn's different. I love
cheesecake.
So do I. That's my favorite dessert.
I'm going to tell you right now, maybe there's some cheesecake snobs on here, but I haven't had a bad cheesecake.
I have.
I've had really good cheesecake.
Yeah.
I've never had bad cheesecake.
I've had some that they got to be dense. Like if it's too fluffy, it doesn't taste good, in my opinion. Then it's not like it's not cheesecake. Then
nobody likes fluffy.
It's got to be a thicker cheesecake. But like
I don't get fat. I get fluffy.
Okay.
So nobody likes fluffy.
No.
So I understand you not liking fluffiness.
Gotcha. So here's a big question for you. What's your preference on cheesecake? What kind? This will tell me a lot about you.
I mean, old school. I'm like cherry cheesecake.
So just like plain with cherry on top. Okay,
100%.
Good answer. That's basically the right answer.
I'm basic. I'm as basic
when
as I
people
come.
say, "Oh, my favorite is this flavor," blah blah blah, I'm like, "You don't know cheesecake. Stop it. Stop it."
But to be fair too, I like just cheesecake.
No, I like some of those too, but
like regular. I mean, like no sauce. I'll eat cheesecake.
My favorite is just plain, nothing on it.
Yeah, I'm cool with that too.
Just plain cheesecake, not the flavored stuff.
That too.
The flavored stuff is like, okay, it's nice, but it's not the same.
Guy,
it's not the same.
I love a cherry cheesecake. A little bit of that.
See, and we just got closer.
I mean, did we need to get any closer? We're already pretty close. We're 19 episodes in. We're pretty close. Okay. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Oh, sorry.
It's not that.
Oh, sorry. Dang it.
That.
I just came out of the closet.
Oh, my gosh. Okay. Well, we've gone all over the place today, folks. So we've talked boxing, we've talked cheesecake and PizzaGate, or PineappleGate, sorry.
PineappleGate.
You know, and then Weekend Trav just came out of the closet. So
no, he didn't.
Well,
it was a joke.
Facetiously came out of the closet. His humor did, anyways. So I think this might be the best time for us to. This is probably going to be I don't know. Actually, we're running a little bit. Okay, this is the best part of the episode for final thoughts from you. which I'm actually nervous to ask you for. But go ahead. Final thoughts, weekend Trev.
Am I giving final thoughts on boxing, or am I giving final thoughts in general?
In general, speak. It doesn't matter. It could be anything.
My final thoughts are, I believe that we should all practice what we preach. Okay? And what I mean by that is we should all be tolerant of other people's opinions, other people's beliefs. We shouldn't demonize anybody. We should also not be sore losers or sore winners. We should respect people's feelings as people. And if you want to have pineapple on your pizza, while I personally absolutely do not like that, I am okay if you like that. I know that there's a lot of pizza aficionados out there that are probably demonizing me right now, but listen to the podcast, because I'm telling you right now, don't demonize us. Let us be, because we're good people too.
Yeah.
Even though I am pro pepperoni,
Well,
ELE, everybody love everybody, no matter what. On a real serious note, all of this like wrapped up into one. Like, seriously, people, get real. We don't live in the same world as the pineapple makers.
the pizza industry is fierce.
Okay,
And they
we
have,
do not live
yeah.
in the same world as the pizza makers.
Yeah.
We don't. We live with each other.
Yep.
You and me, family, friends, loved ones. Treat those people great. Treat those people better. And don't let the pizza corporate world affect your life in a negative fashion of how you see your peers. Treat your peers how you'd want to be treated, no matter what pizza they like.
And if you don't, this guy over here across the table from me may show up to your house one day, knock on your door, and punch you right in the stomach.
I will not even...
Maybe even the baby maker.
Right in the baby maker. Actually, a straight shot.
Straight shot.
Straight.
Ooh, ow.
Straight shot.
Yeah.
I will punch you in the ovaries.
So I think those are good final words and final thoughts. Wow, this has been an episode to say the least. And thank you to our media partners, TH Boxing, Gulfstream Financial, IF Enterprises. Thank you so much. Thank you to those that have always supported this show from day one and continue to build on that. We appreciate it. We never lose sight of who's been behind us the whole time. So thank you if you've already subscribed or have commented or liked our stuff. And if you haven't, please do. We just appreciate feedback. Listen, we're two easygoing guys. We have a good time chatting about stuff. We chat about boxing and pizza and all sorts of stuff. You know, we just have a good old time here.
Agreed. We have a good time. We laugh. We smile a lot. We talk about a lot of topics other than boxing, and we're okay with that.
Yeah.
And I think all of us should be okay with that. We
Yeah.
should all be able to talk. That's the thing, Brandon, too, that we don't talk about enough is communication. And that's also, that can go even deeper. It's Movember is Men's Health.
It is.
Talk about stuff, man. Let
It
it
is.
out. Seriously, men have big egos sometimes, which
trap
allows
it
them
all in.
not.
It's not
we
good
do.
for us. It's
We
not
do,
good.
and I do it. I'm just as guilty as the next person that does it. But we all should be able to talk civilly about life, about experiences, and without discussion, without civil discourse, how would we ever grow spiritually, emotionally, everything?
Yeah.
So we should communicate more.
Yeah. That is the second round of final thoughts. And I appreciate it. And I appreciate you. That there is Travis Hartman.
That there is B Money, Brandon Waters.
Thanks for joining us tonight, or whenever you're watching tonight. And once again, as always, God bless.